Cheers to what should be a good Powell Catalyst retail trading team. We're going to do a quick briefing here just to go over some key levels and get ready for the imminent announcement. It's going to be a real quick one, so I'm going to jump right into it, starting with the weekly chart that you can see on the screen there. So what's going on here is really the main thing is we're watching that trend line. I don't expect to see too tremendous of a reaction from Powell's little speech here. So I don't think we're going to see anywhere near that trend line itself. So we're going to really get a little bit granular and pop into what's going on in the weekly volume profile and just kind of go from there. I just wanted to really bring your attention to the lost zone that we have here. So we closed this past week below where we closed the week prior, so we now have a kind of a lost zone there. And until we get to 46.25, sealing the gap from Sunday night, that's going to be a strong supply zone. And let me just make sure my sound's working here. Yes, okay. So that's what we're looking at in the weekly chart. We're going to really zoom into first the macro, and then, like I said, kind of the intra week chart, if you will. So macro look, I'm not too worried about the candles. I'm really looking at what's going on here. You can see the value area high actually moved up. So this is from 365 days. We put in enough time and volume to move that up to that 4170 area. So if we do get that big rally, we're going to want to see what happens. Near that's really 4175 is an important level. And if we don't, we want to see what happens as we start to fill in. There's kind of a void that we're going to look at on a lower time frame chart near this 4090 area. And if we do, again, we start to break through that, it's a quick move to that 3990 POC, I think. If you do start to see that acceptance into that 4090 area, I think they're going to kind of move through that 4,000 handle pretty quickly. Yet again, I'm still leaning toward buy the dip mode. I don't think that it's going to be any crazy crash today unless Powell says something interesting. So just to kind of focus on what area specifically we're looking at. So this is a daily chart. You can see we have this channel. Some might call it an ascending triangle. Really depends what chart you're looking at. I'm watching the support area here. And really, as we kind of start to peak below it, that's that 4090 area. And if you look at it on the volume profile chart, zoom in a little bit here, you can see a couple things. So number one, you see the space here, my arrow. I'm pointing to that 4090 to 4100 area. If we do get a pop down into there, that's kind of where you have that low volume node, that low, not much business has been transacted there. So once we pop down there, I think that you're going to see that reflexive push back up, and that does give us a nice little fake break below that prior day low as well. So I'm watching this area for a pop down, and if they do want to pop it up again, it's really don't want the arrow anymore. It's really this box here. So it's really that gap from Sunday. I want to see what happens if we get one of the three scenarios. You get the gap and go, which would probably take us up to that 4170 new value area high for the 365-day chart. So that'd be the gap and go. You have the gap and crap, which would be only the nicest terms, but the gap and crap is where we go fill it, and then we pop back down, and perhaps then go explore where the arrow is pointing, that 4100 to 4090 area, kind of a fake break above the overnight high and prior day high as well there. Or finally, maybe we just pop up there and sit for a second. So that'd be the gap and chop would be the third possible scenario there. So really that's what I'm looking at today. I don't think it's too complicated. It's really about what happens to 4090 to 4100. Obviously, if you start to accept into that below 4090 area, maybe then we start to move toward that pivot low near 4070. But again, I'm really looking to buy that dip at first, and then conversely on the top side, I'm watching what happens at the gap for the three scenarios that we discussed there. Just real quick, we'll see what's going on in volatility. We've been building out this inverse head and shoulder for a few days now. It's getting a little stale, I think. So we're going to want to see, if you're a bull also, you want to see volatility kind of pop below that 1990 area, stay below 20, and maybe start to sell off to watch for that sustained bull move. So volatility does look bullish, but it's been building out a while now. So this pattern is becoming a little bit stale. And so obviously, if we do get that sell-off, you want to see what happens above that 2050 to 2070 area. But more than likely, you're going to see that dip buying action. And also, like I said, if we see that move toward the gap, we'll kind of watch what happens near that 1930, just really that 19 dollar number itself. So uh, it's it's going to be a big intraday catalyst today. Yet I don't expect it to be any huge trend move like we've been seeing the past few days. So just kind of watch our key levels, and we'll go from there. I'm going to come to you with a routine debrief after market today to kind of get a bigger, more comprehensive picture, and then we'll talk about announcements and all that other fun stuff at that point. So just wanted to come here with a quick briefing before we hopefully get some movement for Powell's speech. And until the debrief this afternoon,